This channel is proudly sponsored by the Red Room. Please check out the link in the description and in the pinned comment below for exclusive tabletop RPG products you will find nowhere else. Thank you. Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring the vampire Alone in the Darkness. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this solo/cooperative/traditional tabletop role-playing game, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the rules. The check system in the Vampire Alone in the Darkness is mainly decided by the roll of a 10-sided die, to which an appropriate stat value is added. If a check calls for using a skill and you have the skill being checked, you also add a +2 bonus to this value. The higher the result, the better the check. If the sum of the number rolled on the d10 plus the stat value plus the skill bonus, if any, is equal to or higher than 10, the check is successful. If the result is higher than 10, a bonus effect called power bonus is also applied to the check, be it in combat or in other situations. So if you have 14, that would be 4 points of power bonus. A character can make a check with advantage or disadvantage for many reasons. For example, a vantage point or a telescopic sight can grant advantage to a character that shoots at something. In contrast, a dark alley can give disadvantage to a character without a flashlight or any light source, looking for clues. In either case, you roll 2 10-sided dice and pick the highest result in the case of advantage and the lowest result in the case of disadvantage. If there is a source granting advantage and one granting disadvantage, they cancel each other and no extra dice are rolled. The combat system in the Vampire Alone in the Darkness works similar. The only difference is that there is an enemy reaction. In addition to the enemy's hit points, stance, and willpower scores, they have passive skills and reactions carried out every round until they are stopped or defeated. These actions are quite diverse and add flavor to the combat, being either randomly selected according to the dice roll or triggered under certain circumstances, such as a vampire interacting with an enemy in a specific way. Reactions are activated after an action is taken by a vampire, and in case they call for a check, detailed instructions will be in the reactions description. If your character interacts with 2 or more enemies, the reaction of all of them will be activated right after the player's action, so things will probably get complicated if too many enemies surround you. However, you should always try to escape a fight if the odds are stacked against your character. To do so, make a body athletics check. In case of success, you manage to escape the combat in the best possible way. If you fail this check, it triggers the reaction of every enemy, and you remain in combat until you either resolve it or manage to run away from it. When it comes to range of attacks, this is a simplified measure of distance used in combat. It has 3 zones of proximity: melee combat, ranged combat, and out of combat. There are various weapons with different combat stats, specifically the damage that they deal. You have knives, machetes, axes, bows, rifles, machine guns, grenades. You also have various suits of armor such as heavy clothes, heavy vests, tactical armor, even medieval armor and shields. They reduce damage. Just keep in mind though that you can take damage from other sources, for example, falling, fire, acid, poison and explosives, etc. Vampires have unique features that make them more powerful than normal humans, but in contrast, they have a hunger, awakened by their demon, by the shadow demon living inside of them. Hunger is the main drawback experienced by vampires, and it consumes them night after night. A vampire who feeds on human prey recovers all lost hit points automatically. When they do so, the shadow demon manifests through black eyes and sharp fangs that pop out of the vampire's mouth. In addition, a vampire is virtually invulnerable to all types of damage except fire and sunlight. If the vampire's hit points are reduced to 0 for some reason, the character is taken by the shadow demon inside and will somehow wake up the next night at their closest haven, with 1 hit point. Regardless of how much prey the vampire feeds on, at least one of them must fit into their caste's favorite prey. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about how to play the game. So as you can see, you have a simple system to resolve combat, out of combat situations. You have some nuances when it comes to the differences between a vampire and a human, the immortality and powers of vampires. So it's a very smooth, very easy to run experience. Thank you for watching this part of the review. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. This has been Abraham El Jaguar, a professional game master. If you want me to run a game for you, please check out the pinned comment below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you and see you later.